behalf. I already did. Nutter is 18. He can talk to a 16 or 17-year-old girl. Don't care. Let's move on. Why is Urgla defending Nutters in the first place? Urgla can be seen in his Discord server talking about the video I had dropped the same day where I asked people, do you guys think it's okay for an 18-year-old to date a 16-year-old online?
No.
No? It's not?
No.
His video is him talking about me, stating that I, for some reason, want to see 16-year-olds dating 18-year-olds. My stance is simply that I would not label an 18-year-old a child predator for dating someone a year or two younger. That's pretty much it. End quote. I don't care to defend Nutters. I banned him from here since all of this went down. I just disagree that he is a pedophile for talking to a girl at most 2 years younger. That is by definition inaccurate law. Urgla is saying that Nutters is not a pedophile for dating someone 2 years younger than him, which I agree with.
Hey guys, I'm gonna be going over this really awful video Glass posted. I'm going to keep it really simple and short for now. This video is pretty long and there's admittedly not that much that happens.
This video will undoubtedly receive an unprecedented amount of hate and backlash from the community. I simply ask that you watch this video all the way through to the end before making a decision on how you feel about it.
Yeah, okay Glass, you know why the hate is coming, but I guess we'll try our best to suppress it.
Throughout the years, there have been many predator hunters on YouTube fighting for the safety of children and exposing the disgusting freaks that attempt to take advantage of them. It's safe to say we can all agree that a legal adult should not be talking to minors on the internet.
Yeah, pal, that's real rich coming from you. Guess that didn't take long.
There's only one person I can think of that has openly disagreed with this publicly. Who, you might ask? Well, he's a predator hunter who catches degenerate creeps trying to talk to children on an app called NeverMet, a dating app primarily advertising towards VRChat players. This man's name is Urgla, and he's grown an audience of like-minded individuals who all agree with his stances that I am about to present to you in this video.
So, this is it. You're now going to mull over the Nutter situation again. You do realize you are much older than this guy, right?
The first instance of Urgla having an odd take regarding online interactions with adults and minors was made by Urgla in his Discord's unverified general chat on October 12th, 2024 at 4:20 p.m. Urgla states in response to a viewer pressing him regarding his friend Nutters dating a 16-year-old and lying about her age on her behalf, I already did. Nutter is 18. He can talk to a 16 or 17-year-old girl. Don't care. Let's move on. Notice how he sneaks in the 17-year-old girl bit here in order to make it seem like what he is saying isn't that big of a deal. This is something that Urgla does often to downplay the severity of situations in order to make his opinions seem more reasonable. The situation Urgla is defending here is simple to understand. There was a 16-year-old girl.
Hey look, it's the same 16-year-old girl that you sent your dick to.
In Urgla's Discord, pretending to be an 18-year-old in order to interact with adults. This girl began to grow close to one of Urgla's superfans named Nutters. Over the few months they were in the server together, they grew extremely close and would call for days at a time on Discord. Nutters is 18 years old and at some point became aware that the 16-year-old girl he was spending days at a time with on Discord was lying about her age. Instead of making everybody aware of this, he chose to hide the fact that she was 16 and even lied on her behalf, claiming that she was 18. Why would Nutters do this? I'm not sure, but I can only imagine it was one of two things. Either A, Nutters didn't want to be seen as a predator, or B, Nutters got an opportunity he never thought he would have of interacting with someone of the opposite gender and took the chance because he's a massive loser.
Look, even if there's some truth to this, it's still crazy to hear this coming from the guy whose degenerate and thirsty online history got exposed.
Either way, it's undeniable that what Nutters and the girl in question did is extremely disgusting. Now you may be thinking, if this is true, and Nutters and the girl did in fact do this, why is Urgla defending Nutters in the first place?
Okay, I guess I gotta point something out to you. Because you're a fucking retard. He's clearly defending Nutters and Swan talking, not Nutters hiding her age. Nice try though.
And honestly, I don't know. I believe any sane individual, when presented with the same problem, would likely remove both individuals from their community as they're clearly a danger to those around them.
Really? The same way you're a danger to kids online? Which part are you even currently mad at? Are you mad at the fact that they were talking and are 16, 18, or the fact that they lied about her age? The way you framed this makes it look like you're mad at the first and not the latter. Let's just remember what you did. You are the last person who should ever be making this video.
I know things already appear to look pretty bad, but there's no way they could possibly get worse, right? Well, you'd be wrong. On February 20th, Urgla can be seen in his Discord server talking about the video I had dropped the same day where I asked people, do you guys think it's okay for an 18-year-old to date a 16-year-old online?
No.
It's not? Oh, you think it's okay for an 18-year-old to date a 16-year-old online? Oh, no, it's not.
Whoever the YouTuber guy is, he's back. This man, yeah, no, that's not okay. 18, 16, yeah, please cancel that name.
I get that you need a second opinion and you're incapable of going outside, but do you really think that going around and asking VRChat players is the best way to evaluate whether this is okay or not? Not to mention, you later call someone a predator for saying they disagree instead of questioning them, which is the entire point of this format. But whatever, I guess.
You know what I'm saying? There's this YouTuber who makes videos on this game who thinks that that's acceptable.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just a 2-year age difference.
Yeah, it's just a 2-year age difference. Might as well just be a all of a sudden, right?
What?
Fuck you, right, buddy? Portal over here wants to be a over here.
I better publicly state I don't disagree. An 18-year-old should not date a 16-year-old online, in my opinion. But you do realize this is a general gray moral zone because of things like the Romeo and Juliet law. Not all things were thought through for the internet.
In which every single person I had asked, except for one, instantly said, no, I do not think that is acceptable. Urgbla's community can be seen in the comments section of this video defending Urgbla's opinion I showed you earlier in this video. Yep, pretty disturbing stuff.
You want to know what disturbs me? You were 27 talking to this girl on Snapchat and admitted to sending her your dick pic. Are you even judging 18 and 16 when you have an age gap of 11 years on the same minor?
On this same day, Urgla can be seen saying multiple concerning things when it comes to the topic of predators online. The first thing he says is, and I quote, but yes, his video is him talking about me, stating that I, for some reason, want to see 16-year-olds dating 18-year-olds. My stance is simply that I would not label an 18-year-old a child predator for dating someone a year or two younger. That's pretty much it.
I want you to remember this point of the video, right? Is upset that Urg did not deem Nutters to be a predator.
End quote. I should also mention this screenshot here showing how Urgla treats people that are willing to help him in his predator catching endeavors. This person applied to be a decoy in order to help out what they thought was a good cause and were met with this. You can pause the video to read what was said between.
Yeah, I honestly don't really have anything to say on this. Basically, Urg just doesn't like people associating with glass. Big surprise.
And to nobody's surprise, Urgla's closest associates have been harassing this person on Discord and VRChat because of this encounter. There's a lot to break down in this first string of sentences, so allow me to do so one at a time. To start things off, Urgla shows his inability to address any criticism thrown his way by misrepresenting the point of my video. The point of my video was not to state that Urgla for some reason wants to see 16-year-olds dating 18-year-olds. In fact, that's not even close to what my video was meant to show. If he had taken the time to actually watch my video, instead of just looking at the thumbnail and assuming what the video was about, he would know this.
Nobody wants to give you any views.
He's not very bright though, so I'll break it down for you right now. The video had multiple purposes, those being, 1, to show Urgla has a lack of regard for the safety of minors on the internet.
If you had any, things would have gone down much differently when Swan threw herself at you.
2, to show Urgla has garnered an audience of people that defend predatory behaviors and opinions.
The comment section is not really a point of the video unless you directly call it out. I'm starting to think that maybe you're not cut out for this type of thing. It seems a lot like you're just making it up as you go to seem like this mastermind figure that you're not.
And 3, to show most people disagree with the opinions Urgla feeds his audience.
Even if this was a scary take for an old head to have, I still trust him much more than I would ever trust you when it comes to stuff like this.
Even if they're weird VRChat players.
I'm glad you addressed it.
I believe I showed all 3 of these points beautifully in my video, and if you want to understand why or how, I suggest you go back and watch the video for yourself in order to come to a logical conclusion based on what I showed. It's not often a video denouncing predatory behavior online receives such a large amount of hate. Just look at the comments and amount of dislikes on the video if you want to understand what we're dealing with here.
You know you can't run from the real reason you were getting all those dislikes forever, right?
In Urgbla's second sentence, he states he does not label an adult dating a minor to be a predator.
You sure do have some standards for 18-year-olds. Things are not magically different once you turn 18. And even if they were, you still yourself did much worse by preying on someone 11 years younger than yourself.
What Urgla fails to realize here is that we're not talking about in real-life relationships, which for obvious reasons is a completely different subject. What we're talking about here is online relationships. When it comes to online, it's way easier for a predator like Nutters to get away with things they wouldn't in real life.
Like you did. You know how lucky you are not to be on a registry after what you got outed for. Right.
Urgla also does his patented downplay to make it seem less serious in this same sentence, where he states a year or two younger, throwing in the a year to make it seem like not a big deal that this person was dating somebody 2 years younger than them on the internet. If you thought it was bad already, trust me, it gets much worse. Urgla then goes on to say, and I quote, "This is the reason I don't expose 18-year-olds going after any of my decoys who we say are 14 or 15. Yes, it would be weird, but I'm far more concerned about a 26 plus trying to f a child, like Glass has done at least twice, over an 18-year-old. This is another loaded statement, so bear with me while I explain what's wrong with this guy."
Dog, you talked to her on Snapchat. You talked about going over to her house and deleted all your messages on Discord because you know how you turn normal conversations sexual whenever the recipient has a badge. Shut up.
Urgla here is stating that he doesn't go after 18-year-olds talking to 14-year-olds because he thinks that it's weird and not predatory.
He never said it wasn't predatory, just that he was more concerned about people who are way older, who think that they can talk to people still in school that way.
So once again, I hopped on VRChat and began asking people the question,
I'm not even sure what the point of showing this next engagement is. I'm just going to let it play out and then talk about it afterwards, because dude's just posting his own L for no reason.
Guys, do you think it's predatory for an 18-year-old to talk to a 14-year-old online?
Yeah, it is. That's disgusting.
You guys think it's predatory? I do too. Somebody disagrees with me though.
What?
That's cool.
Are they talking about that?
About that kind of stuff.
Are they talking about that fucking shit where it's like Romeo and Juliet laws?
No.
'Cause you're not in high school anymore.
Yeah,
dude.
that's
You're
one step ahead. That's like you're legitimately just a predator trying to pretend not to be one at that
you're
point.
literally just a predator. You're going after kids. That's fucking disgusting.
What the hell, man? Like, you should get out of here. Like, holy, going after kids. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Why are we talking about this? We were
Miss,
just
can you
having
stop
a
talking
normal
so much?
conversation. Well, you interrupted us.
Shut the fuck up. You came in and
yourself
intruded
into
this shit,
our
bitch ass mug. Did your eyes
conversation.
don't look like
Hello, can you hear me?
No, I
No,
can't.
actually,
I'm not
I can't.
listening to you.
Hey, calm down, sir. I'm just trying to make sure that people aren't out here trying to take advantage of kids, that's all.
Hey, you to your children or
You need to simmer
whatever.
down, sir. There's no
Leave me
reason
out of
for
it.
this.
Yeah, you go talk off to your fucking e-kids or whatever the fuck
Talk
you
to your
got.
children
I'm
like you.
disgusting.
Can you guys
Weirdo.
relax? I agree with you guys. I think it's wrong and should be ridiculed, and I
Yeah,
think they're
you agree
predatory.
with us because you're a fucking
What?
Yeah, you weirdo. You
No, I
weirdo.
agree with you because I don't like
Who
people
comes
talking to
over
kids.
here and talks about like child is weird.
I definitely didn't do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
you
did.
did.
Yeah, you did.
You really
Are you guys
really
gaslighting
did.
me? What's going on here?
Weirdo.
Hell, we're
It's
having a normal
gaslighting. That's not
conversation.
real.
What I had said was, do you think it's predatory for an 18-year-old to talk to a 14-year-old online? Yes or no?
But why are you
Yes!
talking
And I
about
said,
it?
and I said
It's
yes,
weird.
and that was the end.
Because
of the
this is a
conversation.
highly
Either way,
It's
turn around.
making
controversial
me
topic.
uncomfortable.
I don't really give a f if it makes you feel uncomfortable. Go seek the help you need. Go get therapy.
Notice how bro realizes how weird he seems for doing this little questionnaire. Instead of reading the room, this moron doubles down because he can never admit his wrongs.
Let's ask these guys. Hey, everybody at the bar, I have a question for you. If there was an 18-year-old talking to a 14-year-old online, do you think that 18-year-old would be a predator? Yes or no?
Predator. Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking the same thing. For some reason, these people behind me had a hard time answering that question.
So he's a
Very
predator.
predatory.
Oh no, this one right here wouldn't answer the question, and now she was like getting mad at me and arguing with me and shit. She might like kids or something. I don't know.
Calling a random a predator for not wanting to answer your question, when you interrupt them, you just gave me yet another example of your projection. I genuinely lost count of how many people you've incorrectly called a predator for no reason other than to save your own ass. I hope you know nobody wants to watch this shit.
Now you might be thinking to yourself, why is all of this concerning in the first place? Well, Urgla is a nearly 30-year-old man and has built...
Wow, good one, you massive hypocrite. You didn't think that you weren't going to get called out for striking others' videos down, for showing your face and then showing Urgbla's face like it's nothing. I try my best not to play the doxing card, but here's my favorite picture of you, Timothy Jenkins. It was from a call on a public server, therefore it's public knowledge. I'm glad that you used this screenshot, because that means I don't have to go digging for anything. You're making a video about a situation nobody cares about, with people who nobody cares about being involved. The cherry on top, Nutters isn't even around anymore, nor does he have any sort of online presence. This video is pointless.
In this statement, Urgla is saying that Nutters is not a pedophile for dating someone 2 years younger than him, which I agree with.
Did you reread your script at all? You just made a big fuss about him being a predator or pedophile because he's above 18. This cannot be real.
However, I would consider Nutters more likely to be a pedophile after knowing he actively knew the girl was 16, chose to lie on her behalf saying she was 18 to people, and tried to justify his actions by saying, and I quote, "I was only talking to her because I felt bad," end quote.
This is literally not the same argument that you were making. This video has been a massive waste of time, and we are now 21 minutes in out of the 25. Oh, very nice. We're cherry picking the one clip nobody gives a fuck about from the morale stream. Here's some of my favorites.
Where I said that I sent Swan a dick pic. I said she's seen my penis. I never said I sent her a dick pic. What? Dude! You want to clarify again how old she was when... How old was she when I sent it? She's 16 years old. After having his alt account's DM log leaked between him and the 16-year-old in question, showing multiple hour-long calls they had with one another, some extending over a day in length. Urgla conveniently chooses to forget about all of this in order to deflect any criticism being made towards him for defending this person at all.
The only person deflecting here is you, Glass. We all know what your relations were with that minor. Maybe you were feeling a little jealous that Nutters got more attention than you? Is that it?
You don't know how a cat
who fetishizes over an OnlyFans girl is getting upset over this, but go off, King. Spit your shit.
He also mentions having banned Nutters from his Discord since all this went down, which is completely unrelated as Urgla did not ban Nutters for any of the reasons related to the situation I've been discussing with you in this video.
Hiding her age was a much worse offense in my opinion. Even then, he literally solved the issue by banning him. What the fuck is your deal? He's gone for the wrong reasons. He's gone. He's not around anymore. Move on for fuck's sake.
Urgla is presented with a response asking him, and I quote, "To prevent Glass from redirecting this onto you, do you inform them that they could have ended up on a sexual offender registry and suggest they seek professional help or therapy?" In which Urgla responds, "We don't even interact with them. I have the dating app set to 24 or 25 plus.
So he's never caught the people you're upset he's not exposed. You do realize he's perfectly allowed to target older predators, right? If someone had a real issue with this, they'd set up decoys to target the younger market.
Not you though.
You definitely shouldn't be behind any catches anyways."
People don't just magically turn into child after a certain age.
The same thing could be applied to you worrying about Nutters. You just said a possible defense that they'd have on Urgla's side in your own video. The whole reason he's not after them is people aren't magically in the adult mindset as soon as they turn 18. even if people, including myself, think they should be.
This is a pattern of behavior that exists well before these predators pop up on Urgla's radar. If the goal is to prevent predators from taking advantage of children online, then there are no excuses for excluding 18 to 23-year-olds from the pool of potential predators to expose. Personally, I would be afraid to know what kinds of things Urgla was doing when he was 18 years old if these things that he's saying are truly what he believes in. At this point, I want to ask all of you to leave a comment down below letting me know how you feel about the things I discussed throughout this video.
I feel like you've wasted everyone's fucking time with this video. This has been 25 minutes of you making a mountain out of a molehill in the grand scheme of things. The real reason why you made this video is to deflect acknowledgement of your creepy behavior and all the hatred you receive onto someone 9 years younger than yourself. And as I said before, that person is not even around anymore. You're meager, you're pathetic, and it is abundantly clear that you're grasping at straws to retain relevancy to save your online career.
I am curious to hear what you have to say. However, I am stern when it comes to my opinions I expressed throughout the video. I appreciate you all for taking the time out of your day to watch this video, and I hope to see you for the next one. Peace out, everybody.
And just like that, this terribly unstructured, meandering video ends. Nobody will remember this shitter in a week. Do the things the algorithm likes, and if you're a Glass fan, just look into what this guy's done.
Voting for 200 sub special on my community tab.
Guys, quick tip, if you ever want to make it on YouTube, and you're going to be like racist, don't get caught, you know? Don't get caught like Human NPC and Gravity Kills. Those two made a big mistake tonight.